Welcome to the walkthrough of Trader Meditations, your online trade journal, trade report, trade ticket, the whole 9 yards of improving yourself as a trader. Why is it called Trader Meditations? Well, I'd love to say it was deep, insightful thought, but everything else I tried was taken. Trade journal, trader notes, like all kinds of things I tried to come up with. And then I just let it marinate. And I really enjoy the book called Meditations from Marcus Aurelius. In fact, I gifted a copy of that book to every one of my stepsons this past Christmas. And Trader Meditations was his thought, it was his journal about how to improve himself. So I love the idea of calling it Trader Meditations. It's not a URL that rolls right off the tongue, but the concept is exactly right. So I'm going to read this page to you, Trader Meditations for the Modern Trader. Your real edge isn't your strategy, it's the trader you are becoming. Every lesson, every trade captured in one place. Then underneath it, I have this short little write-up. These pages are not written for the market. They are written for the trader, the one who must govern his own mind before he acts. Like Marcus Aurelius penned his meditations in the stillness between battles, so too must we write, not to impress, but to inspect, to steady our thoughts, to recognize our tendencies. This journal is not a scorecard. It is a mirror, not for the trades alone, but for the trader becoming. Once you set up your username and password, you should be landing on this page, the settings page. If for some reason you don't, come here and click settings, because this is where you want to go next. We're going to build your trade journal. So you want to choose your setup. And I have two quick ones, either the full trade journal or a light version. I honestly recommend you do the full version. Journal for a while, see what fields you love, what fields you never touch, and then you can come back in here and modify your layout, okay? You're going to want to save your settings at the very bottom. You'll see that there's a place to save your settings. You need to do that. You don't have any settings right now, so you would want to make sure you save them. Then you're going to set your sticky note. So your sticky note settings are down here. What the sticky note is when you actually log your journal entry, the sticky note will appear at the top of your trade journal. And this could be your leverage metrics. It could be a review of your trade plan, whatever you would want it to be. That is notes from you to you. And then we will cover how to create some custom fields and then start journaling. So make sure you come over here and select them all. Even if you want them all, please hit save my journal settings. And then if you want to add anything in the sticky note, you might want to just put placeholder here, just so you can see what it looks like on your side of it. Throughout the day, there will be a few tastefully placed alerts when the market opens, when it's lunchtime, when the market's closed, things like that. It makes a little ding sound. If you never want to hear the ding, you can turn that off. So once the settings are set up, you are ready to make a journal entry. Up here at the top, you have this lightning bolt. This is for a really fast journal entry. It has nothing to do with these fields. I've hand selected like 5 of them. It's just, let's say you didn't trade today. You just want to log it, get it done, get it out. The lightning bolt might be of interest to you, but I would still do a full journal entry just for the pure habit. Okay. And then this box here shows the history of your journal entries. Now we're peering into my test account, so there will be journal entries in here and things for us to look at along the way. So let's come and hit the notebook and pencil to go do our journal entry for the day. You'll get a little welcome here. Said I've journaled 100% of the day since I started journaling. I've had 100% of A and B discipline, which is really cool. So this is the sticky note, just some notes I have on journaling, just placeholder stuff. Trade Coach we'll talk about in a minute. And this is my personal fields. These are your custom fields that you can create for yourself. I have 2 extra ones that are not part of the trade journal. I want to know, did I do my walk today? And did I stick to my schedule? I tend to overburden myself with doing too many things at once versus one task during a specific time period. So one of the things I am working on is trying to stay on my schedule and do what I'm supposed to do when I'm supposed to do it. And then this is where the trade journal begins. This is all of the categories selected on the actual settings page. You'll want to give it a title. Maybe you start with the day of the week and it's a summary, 3 trade, whatever you want to say, use the title for it. This will be searchable, which we will talk about in a little bit as well. The date is automatically populated with today's date. What are your top 3 goals and what are your top 3 gratitudes for the day? The goals are really important because if you have goals here, what that probably means is you are taking your journaling seriously and you know the things that you want to make sure you're doing and things that you don't want to do. That's a great place to put it in the daily goals. Your gratitude, in my opinion, keeps your eye on the prize. Who am I fighting for here? For me, it's my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, my wife, angel from heaven, and my children. I was born to be their dad. So they are my gratitudes every single day for me. This is what I'm working for. Should I be trading? I think that's a great one to keep on your chart. Just as a reminder, did you do a complete pre-flight check? Are you on your A game? Is your trade plan set? Have you reviewed your leverage metrics? The newer you are, the more important these are. The more experienced you are, you know these like the back of your hand, but still a good checkbox. Then here's a place that you can make notes. I give a little bit of a setup here based upon the sessions, the ETH in the morning session, New York lunch, the silver bullet hour, the power hour, and the evening trading. If you don't want any of those, just select all, hit delete, and go to town, okay? You can bold, you can underline, you can indent, you can do all kinds of things. Let me just show you real quick a little tip about making this look really nice. If you want to, come in here and click Show Blocks, and you'll see how each of these are now in blocks. If I come in here to the ETHAM and hit enter, a new block will come up, and I'm just going to put where my notes go. Where my notes go. Because what I might want to do is I might want to bold this. I might want to increase the size of it. I might want to take my notes and let's indent and come over 2 spaces. And now this is setting up to be really nice. You can turn off the blocks if you don't want to see it, but this is a nice way to make your journal entries easy. If I want to put a picture here, maybe I hit enter and I want to put a picture there, just hit add media, upload files. You can drag and drop your images. You have a library of your images. Just click an image, insert it into the post, and there you go. All right. Once again, if you want to come in here and hit this and show blocks, you can see how that works. So just a little lesson there in formatting your journal entry. Yeah. So trade ticket. This is where you can record individual trades with much more detailed statistics that we can track over time. So let's try that. We can hit trade. What time was the trade? What session was it? This might seem redundant, but I think it's important that the more transactions you get, you might want to dial it down by hour. So let's go ahead and capture it by hour. It takes just a second. In fact, I might be able to program this to where it automatically, just leave it the way it is. Sorry. What session are we in? What additional notes do I want to make just on this trade? You can add those notes. Was it a planned out trade? This is something we reinforce in our group constantly. Was it a pre-planned, mapped out trade? If it was, take it with confidence. If it wasn't, and you took a loss on it, would that be something you might want to know later? Sure. Was it a long or short? How was the trend? Was I with the trend? Was I counter trend? Was it chop? Was it like, I really don't know? It's okay. Which time frame did you take that entry? Okay. Was it a 3-minute backside? Well, you're going to hit the 3-minute and then the entry type, you'll put backside. Was it based off a strong level? Was it based off these other entry criteria? Previous day high, previous day low, fair value gap, IB high, IB low, overnight high, overnight low. You can read all of that. These are additional criteria. If you have any questions on that, please reach out to me. Okay. How many contracts did I trade? Did I trade with perfect leverage or did I over leverage? I guess one of those options could be under leverage. I think I might add the under leverage. And the reason for that is maybe it was your perfect setup. It was rocked on. You decided to enter with one contract instead of your, 5 contracts, and you under leveraged and it was a perfect entry. I might add that to the leverage. What was the trade result? Positive, loss, or break even. If it's a profit, it'll say points earned. If it's loss, the field will change to points lost. Okay. What was my top runner? So let's say you did multiple contracts. You took one off at 10 points, one off at 20 points, and the other one got you out at break even. Well, your top runner would be 20 points. What was the points missed for not playing perfect chess? As you get more advanced into our system, this will be more meaningful. Was this trade important? I want to highlight it and I want to revisit it one day. If the answer is yes, there you go. Now, the trade complete, we're going to hold on 1 second because you can come up here and close this field. So right here it says click to open this little caret right here. And there it closes. And the reason why is you might have several trades in here and you, at the end of the day, you want to go ahead and click complete. You know, you completely finished that trade. And then you can hit trade again. And there you go for your second trade. If you want to track individually, this is our trade ticket, trade tracker part of Trader Meditations. Did I have any trader errors? Did I have any big lessons? These will be important and I will show you on the dashboard. What was my discipline? Were you on your A game or B game? I consider both of those green. Good job. Anything underneath that we might want to know. What if on C and D days, your P&L is much different than A and B days? What if your C and D days translated to more trades? We're going to know that. So this is all self-inputted data. No one's here checking you. I'm certainly not checking you. So be honest with yourself. What was my results for the day? Was it a special day? I want you to be able to mark out, hey, this was my results on FOMC day. This was my results if I traded the day before FOMC day. And right now there's the ability to add additional ones. These have been added by other traders. They are not my inputs. These are my inputs. And as long as they stay on topic and relevant, I'll continue to allow you to add other fields. If for some reason it turns out to be a nightmare for me, I will remove that ability. More detailed results. How was my AM versus my PM? Is that information you'd like to know over time? Sure. What was my P&L by points? Even if it was break even, please put 0 because you'll want that on the calendar. Okay. Positive or negative, doesn't matter. What was my top runner for the day? What was my balance? If you want to track your balance, let's say you're in a cash account, every day you want to put in, what is my account balance? You can do that. How many trades did I take today? That's important. Did I do a pre-flight checklist? Did I stick within my leverage metrics? What about trend? Was I fighting trend? Was I with the trend? Was it just slop and chop today? This may not be meaningful today, but after you put in 200 trading days, this might become meaningful for you. What was your weight? I could have made that a personal field, but it's part of the full journal. What about my water? What about working out and stretching? We talk about this every day in our own group. How's your self-talk today? Did you have constructive self-talk? Journal about it. How was your energy today? This relates in line with your discipline, but your energy is a little different. How was my energy today? Mark that out. What if you discovered, man, on peak A days, my P&L is just ridiculous. But if I'm at neutral or lower, I know I shouldn't be trading. Well, this is going to become meaningful after you put in 200 something days, right? Bible, what did you read today? Was today a win? Whether it's positive or negative P&L is not whether or not it was a win. Were you disciplined? Did you stick with your trade plan? Did you trade within your leverage metrics? Was today a win? And then was this entire day important that you would want to remember it and come back and possibly revisit it? Before we scroll further down, this is how you can go back to your dashboard at any time. This is where you publish your post at any time. We have 2 modes here. We have a Zen mode, kind of gets rid of everything. And then there's a dark mode, okay? Now, scroll further down. You have a way to post this journal entry directly into our Discord group, okay? In our Discord group, I have a handful of traders who have their own trade journals in there because they want the public accountability. If you want your trade journal inside of the Discord group, please let me know, and I will hook up this Trader Meditations journal entry to where if you publish it to Discord, it will land inside of your trade journal. Otherwise, like for myself, it will publish on the Trading Floor channel, which is our main channel. This will always click to know every time you refresh. So every time you click yes, it's going to publish. So please be courteous and not publish 1,000 in one day, right? Do I want to publish my notes, my big lessons, my trader errors? So these are fields you can select of how you would like them to appear inside of the Discord group. And then Trade Coach. Do you want to turn that on? Yes or no? What's a big day to you in green? And what's a big day to you in red? Because at the very top, every day, there will be a little Trade Coach. You could get up to 3 different messages here. Your account might qualify for 32 messages, but you're only going to see 3. It knows I'm having a low trade count, which means I'm trying to be highly precise. Yes, I am. Thank you. Save your work often by clicking update down here. There's always going to be a trader wisdom box. Green over more. That sounds like good wisdom. And then there's biblical wisdom, which you can turn on or off in your settings. Fix your eyes not on what is seen. Don't get lost in the candles. Focus on conviction. So let's go back to the dashboard. You can use this quick menu here to go back to the dashboard to see all your journal entries, to go back to your settings, go see the AM briefing if you want. Go back to the Core Strategy Academy for your training. Let's go ahead and just click the medallion. And yes, I want to leave the site. I don't want to save that. So this is our dashboard. Our dashboard is going to tell you your journal streak. How many days in a row have you journaled? How many days in total? What's my green day streak, which is kind of nice. Then we have this P&L calendar, which is very nice. Green days means you had a green day. A green circle means you had an A or B discipline. And this number is how many trades did you take, of course, with the weekly totals and some all-time stats here based upon the P&L calendar. Underneath the P&L calendar, this is where the big lessons and the trader errors come into play, that there will be a billboard of them. And over time, it was probably a good idea to review your big lessons. You thought it was such a good big lesson, it was worthy of filling out. So from time to time, review your big lessons. Same thing with your trader errors. Same thing with your trader errors. What were my top runners? That's kind of fun. And then what was your average P&L by day? This is self-reported metrics from your main journal entry, okay? What was your P&L by day? It might be something worth noting over a long period of time. And then I have that raw data just setting right here as well, with a little more information. How many entries am I taking on these days? What was my P&L? And so what is my average profit per entry? What's my P&L by discipline? So you reported A discipline, B discipline, C and D. What is your P&L based upon your reported discipline? What's your average number of trades for reported discipline? If you're at C and D, do you think those number of trades might be high? Might be something you want to call attention to. P&L by number of trades. The more trades you take, how does that affect your P&L? Average number of trades by day. Looks like I like trading on Fridays. Cumulative P&L over time. Then once again, this is all based off reported metrics from your journal entry. Every week, there will be a new reflection setting here. What setups made you feel confident? What made you second guess? So if you're ever saying, what should I journal about today? Well, the weekly reflection, as I said, this will change weekly, gives you at least one thing for you to think about. And maybe every day this week, I think about this question. What setups made me feel confident? What made me second guess? And next week, it'll be a new prompt. So let's talk about custom fields. So I'm going to go back to the journal entry for a second. And here are your personal fields. And maybe I should rename this to personal fields so the naming stays consistent. But these custom fields are where you can add additional things you might want to track. So do I want to show the personal fields in my journal? Yes, I do. Where do I want that placement? Right now I have it setting at the top of the page. And my 2 items is, am I walking and have I stayed on schedule? You can click this plus button to add checkboxes. and you can delete them by hitting the X. If you wanted to do a group of affirmations, name the group and then separate your options by a comma, and there'll be a nice daily affirmations there. Same thing for checklists. Maybe you want to put in your pre-flight checklist or whatever you'd want to do. You can add checklist. You can add number fields. How many miles did I run today? Not did I just walk, but how many? So these, you could track it. You could add additional personal notes. So let's just do one real quick. Additional personal notes. Okay. These cannot appear on the trade floor. They'll never appear on the trade floor. These are for your eyes only. So settings saved. And I'm going to show you one more thing before we go look at it. I'm going to move the text area to the top. So now it's at the top, and let's save the order. Now let's go back and look at my trade journal, and you'll see at the top is my personal notes, and then underneath are my check boxes. Okay. So those are your personal fields that you can add to your trade journal. Okay. And I think that is really, really nice. This is where you can interject personal stuff into your trade journal, so you have an all-in-one life tracker. Next big thing we're going to talk about is the trade report. So let's click trade report. And this is an archive of my CSV files from Tradeovate from a year or two ago. And you can generate a new report. And how do you do that? Well, come and click generate new report. If you have Tradeovate, you're going to want to use this as to upload your Tradeovate file. If it's NinjaTrader, well, if you downloaded your CSV by the web or online, you want to use this. If you did it from the app or your desktop program, you want to use this. And as soon as you do that, and I mean like as soon as you do that, let's come and hit view on this one. It's going to give you a trade report based upon that information. I am not going to go through every box on this page. So we're just going to scroll through it, and you'll see, for example, it'll give you what was your best of for that data. What was my worst of for that data? Trader skew. What percentage of trades were executed during those sessions? What were my win rate by those sessions? You'll get a cumulative P&L chart. So assuming it basically started at 0. Okay. And then all kinds of charts, P&L by day, points by contract, so much data there. I'm not going to go through it. What's meaningful? I don't know, because I don't see your trade report. But if you wanted to share it, we'll use a screenshot software where you can screenshot it and share it if you are looking for feedback. And then you've got the entire table of data where and the reason I did that is because there might be some trades you want to individually delete. They were outliers. You left an order in your DOM for some reason. You got a big loss or a big win, and you go, I don't want that in my metrics. Okay. Maybe you'll come in here and go, you know what? I don't like any of my Sunday trades. I'm going to remove those. I don't want those in my metrics. Come in here and hit delete, delete, delete. They'll be deleted. You can export the CSV file again if you wanted. You come in here and say, show me just Mondays, and it'll do a little sorting. Show me just Sundays. And there's those 3 Sunday trades. Okay. And then you can say, you know what, show me all of my longs on Monday. And then there's all your longs on Monday just for this CSV download. This is really powerful. Then it keeps an archive of them all. You can delete it if you want. Okay, no problem. And then if we scroll down, you have your all-time stats, which is basically all of those charts for all of the CSV files that you uploaded. Okay. Way cool. And if you want a table of all of them, you can just click this and it'll show you the table of them all, and you can download the CSV for all of them at once. That is fantastic. If you have any feedback for me, please fill out a feedback. I'd love to hear your thoughts. How can we improve this? How can we make this better? Is there any sticky points that are going on? Do you just want to say thank you so much for putting this together? I created this as an additional member benefit with no additional cost. Please journal every day, because I really want you to be successful. And I know true success comes from improving who you are as a trader. We have the system. Now we need to get you dialed in to you so that you are the best you, because trading demands the best you.